Not every wrestling character was born from fantasy. Some were born from real events. A childhood fear, a family tragedy, a moment that changed everything. Each story is different, but they all led to the same destination, creating a personality that would be cheered, feared, mocked, but most importantly, remembered. These are the stories that created those characters. Welcome to Kayfabe Origins. Long before the orange jumpsuit, before the handcuffs, before the cold stare, there was simply Kevin. He grew up believing there were only two kinds of people, those who protected society and those who threatened it. His father was a correctional officer, a man who wore his uniform with pride. Every morning before work, he'd tell Kevin the same thing. The walls don't just keep bad people in, they keep good people safe. Kevin believed every word. While other kids dreamed of becoming athletes or astronauts, Kevin wanted one thing: to wear the same badge as his father, to protect families, to keep order, to make sure evil stayed behind bars. Then, one night, everything changed. A prison riot erupted without warning. Sirens echoed through the cell blocks. Smoke poured through the corridors. Guards rushed inside. Some never came back. Kevin's father was one of them. The investigation was quick. The blame was simple. Violent inmates had murdered another good man. The prison held a memorial. Flags flew at half-staff. Speeches were given. Kevin stood silently beside his father's casket. That day, he made himself a promise. No family would ever suffer the way his had. Years passed. Kevin followed the same path. He became a correctional officer. The same uniform, the same prison system, the same belief that justice always found a way. At first, everything felt exactly as he'd imagined. Dangerous inmates, long shifts, hard choices. But slowly something didn't feel right. He saw guards using force when there was no resistance. Reports disappearing. Evidence rewritten. Inmates punished. Not for breaking rules, but for upsetting the wrong people. The walls weren't just keeping prisoners inside, they were hiding secrets. Kevin couldn't stay quiet. He reported what he saw. He filed complaints. He trusted the system to protect those who hold the truth. Instead, the system turned on him. One morning, investigators arrived. Evidence had surfaced. Witnesses came forward. Kevin was arrested, accused of crimes he'd swore he'd never committed. The badge was taken away. The uniform disappeared. The courtroom never listened. The sentence came quickly. The correctional officer became the inmate. His name was replaced by a number. Every door that slammed shut echoed louder than the one before. He wasn't escaping prison, he was surviving betrayal. Day after day. He replayed everything in his mind. Every report, every warning, every face that smiled while destroying his life. One face returned more than any other. A fellow officer, Ray Traylor. Strong, respected, trusted by everyone. Kevin became convinced Ray was the one who helped make it happen. Whether he forged evidence, covered up the truth, or simply stood by while it happened, it no longer mattered. To Kevin, Ray Traylor became the face of every lie, every betrayal, every broken promise. Years inside those walls changed him. Hope disappeared. Mercy faded. Trust became weakness. The inmates stopped calling him Kevin. That man no longer existed. Instead, they gave him another name, Nailz. Because every ounce of pain he'd endured had hardened into something sharp, something cold, something impossible to pull free. Eventually, his sentence ended. The prison gates opened. But freedom didn't feel free. He walked out carrying something heavier than chains. Revenge. Not against every guard, not against every prison, against one man, Ray Traylor. The man he believed had stolen his father's legacy, his career, his freedom, and his life. Years later, the wrestling world would know Ray Traylor by another name, the Big Boss Man. And when their paths finally crossed, it wouldn't just be another rivalry. It would be unfinished business. Most fans saw Nailz as nothing more than an angry ex-convict, a man consumed by violence. But beneath the orange jumpsuit was someone who had once believed in justice more than anyone. Someone who learned that sometimes the people guarding the walls can become more dangerous than the people behind them. And that is how Kevin became Nailz. But every story has another side, because while Kevin believed Ray Traylor was the man who destroyed his life, Ray had a story of his own, a story of duty, of responsibility, and of becoming the law inside the squared circle. Someday we'll unlock that cell and tell the story of the Big Boss Man.